Hey guys, it's Jessica Ashley. So much fun. I am doing a video blog about my recent life experiences, and the consequences I've had to put myself through. So basically, my life has, for the past 5 years, has been very hard to deal with, considering all my sexual assaults and rapes, and I'm the type of person that likes to hold everything in and not tell people. I also use different things to avoid the problems. So, for example, I would always be in relationships to get my mind off of all of my assaults and rapes, so I didn't have to face it face on or head on. That didn't work out. Let's just put it that way. It just kind of tore me down further and further, and it didn't do the guys any justice because I was just sabotaging the relationship with them and everything. But the main thing that I did use was alcohol. Now, yes, you're in college, you're gonna drink and all that jazz, but I wasn't drinking to socialize. I was drinking to get drunk, mainly to actually black out and forget pretty much everything that could happen. I used alcohol to escape and hide all the problems that I was dealing with, but instead, the point of where I was drinking, I instead exposed all my problems, and half the time I didn't remember what I would say. As I probably said in an earlier video, that I had alcohol poisoning my freshman year, but I didn't go to the hospital that night. Actually, I had friends and my boyfriend at the time pick me up and take me to Walmart and get some bread and water down me, and I had a friend of a friend stick her finger down my throat and all that jazz. I woke up at 5 in the morning the next day and I was so dehydrated I couldn't go to class, I couldn't do anything. I went back to sleep but still could not function, so they took me to the hospital, and I was in the hospital for dehydration. And me being the person that covers things up, I told my parents that I passed out and I had to go to the hospital. They soon found out that it was alcohol poisoning because I got a drinking ticket for it. And then the second time I was a sophomore, and that one was a mistake. Consciously, it was a mistake. I don't know about subconsciously, but basically my friends and I were going shot for shot, and I had a double shot glass while they had a regular shot glass. So while they were taking 13 shots, I took 26. And that didn't hit me until I hit the car when we're on the way to a frat party, and apparently our driver took a sharp turn and I just fell over and was gone, like knocked out. They took me back to my dorm. I like banged my head on everything. They took me to the wrong room, which that was something. And then, I got into the ambulance, and one of my friends stuck by the whole time until I was awake. Called my parents. My roommate was there in the room with me the whole time. And unfortunately, I woke up to my dad's face, but, now that I look back at it, I'm actually glad that I woke up, because my blood alcohol level was way too high. I shouldn't have been living, basically. I had a 0.29. It was bad. I had my stomach pumped, like a catheter in me, all that jazz. And that was a wake-up call for me, in the sense that I need to figure out what my limit is if I'm going to continue to drink, which I did. But basically, after my first rape, my senior year, I figured out my limit was, if it was beer, it was, well, basically backtrack. after being alcohol poisoned twice, I realized my tolerance was much higher. So with beer, my tolerance was a 6 pack or more. Wine was like a bottle, and then liquor was with liquor I only bought. I didn't spend more than $12 on liquor, so I could drink a fifth and be fine in that night. But it would only be rum, so I figured that since I knew my limit, that it was good. Now, after when I was in my abusive relationship, I drank every day, every weekend to black out. I didn't want to remember anything, but even if you do black out, you still remember stuff. Well, you remember all the stuff that you don't want to remember, that you try to avoid while being blacked out. Then I slowed down a little bit, and then I got raped back in February, and that's when it went kind of overboard, because all of my sexual assaults and rapes that I was holding in blew out of the water, came out full force. Like, I was irritable, all my depression came back, my anxiety came back, I gained PTSD, I had trauma nightmares, I have stress, like, and I also hallucinate a little bit. Yeah, no one wants to hear that, no one wants to know that, but at the same time, like, I gained so many things from that rape that I can't be a normal person anymore. So I obviously used alcohol to escape. But since I'm home, I'm not allowed to drink under the roof of my dad's house because he does not condone me drinking. I did buy wine still and drink it every night and hide it in my room. Yeah, my parents probably will find that out sooner than later, but I just couldn't do it. My doctor took me off of my anxiety meds and just upped my depression meds and hoped for the best, but my tremors came back and they are not fun. But fast forward to last Friday, I went out with my best friend and her cousin, and we went out drinking, and I'm like, okay, 3 drinks, I can do it. 5 drinks max, so I don't go way overboard. Like, let me try to keep myself and willpower myself to the spot that I know I need to be. So we go to Vita, drank 2 margs. We would go to Wet Willie's, which is 190 proof alcohol in a slushy, which you're like, oh, it's not that bad, but it hits later on. But got one of those. Then we went to VBGB Beer Garden, and I got a beer that I didn't like, so then I just bought a cider instead, which I drank all that, which was fine. And then we met some older men, and they bought us a shot of Crown, which Crown is disgusting, but I mean, it was a free shot, so I didn't really complain. And then after, we went to Apostrophe Lounge, where all I remember is drinking 2 Long Islands and a shot of Crown. And then the next day, I woke up in my bed when I was supposed to spend the night with one of 2 of my friends. Then I found out what I did the night before, and let's just say half opened eyes, rolling back to your head and spitting up, and then finding out that you not only embarrassed yourself, you embarrassed the people that you were with, and you insulted everybody that walked in your way. When I drink, I bring out my rapes, I bring out the sexual assaults, I bring out race, because I am self-conscious about being mixed, half white and half black, that I guess I either use it to my advantage or I use it as a victim when I drink. It's like I'm so self-conscious about it that I end up hurting other people when I think about it. And then I think it was Thursday. Yep, it was Thursday. Um, all of, I looked at my bank account and all of the drink charges from Apostrophe Lounge came into my checking, and I spent $50 there. That was, and one Long Island was $6.43. So after finding out what I did the night before, or that Friday night, and figuring out that I spent $50 worth of drinks, I was like, yes, we have to stop drinking because this is going overboard, and you came close to alcohol poisoning once again. My dad forced me to start intensive outpatient partial hospitalization, like rehab, which I hated him for the first day because it was just like all these assessments, seeing these doctors. It was just, it was so much. But as days went on this week, I started that on Wednesday. I actually love it. Yeah, I hate that I have a substance abuse problem. I hate that I have all these mental illnesses, but the place that I'm at, after seeing the charges to my card, I realized, hey, I need to stop drinking. This is not the way that life's supposed to be. Like, I'm not supposed to push my limits to see how far can I go before it's too late. And the program is making me more self-aware of my worth and learning to forgive myself and not take on the guilt for my sexual assaults and rapes. Always forgive but never forget, but don't let it control your life because you are a strong and beautiful woman and you can get through it. So my life for the next, who knows, as long as we can, maybe, hopefully, is to not drink. The thing is, I don't think I necessarily have a problem with drinking. I just know that if I have money in my account and if I go out with friends, I'm gonna want to drink or drink as much as I can because I have the money for it. Now, if I was staying in, I probably wouldn't drink that much. That's just because of who I am. It's literally the environment that I'm in. But I know for me and my health right now, I have to stop drinking because I have to face the fears I have. I have to face the depression, the anxiety. I have to face that I was sexually assaulted. I was raped. But I can't let that control me. Yes, it makes me fear going out and talking to people or going and doing this or going to sleep because I literally just can't. But I just wanted to share my recent struggles, and I hope to continue to, I guess, share my recovery and all the good things that can happen to me in the future. Thank you. It's Jessica.